Hi everybody, welcome to online YouTube class. Today we are going to discuss on a poem which is written by Kishwar Nahid, a Pakistani poet. The poem I am not that woman. This is prescribed for UG second semester students. See, Kishwar Nahid was born in 1940 in Bulandshahar, Uttar Pradesh in British India, but later settled in Pakistan. Her family migrated to Lahore, Pakistan during partition in 1947. She was a witness to violence including rape and abduction of women during partition. She struggled and fought to receive education when women were not allowed to go to school. She studied at home and received a high school diploma through correspondence courses. In Pakistan, she went on to obtain Master of Arts degree in economics from Punjab University, Lahore. This is about the poet. Come to the poem, I am not that woman. The poem, in this poem, the language of the poem is extremely simple. All the words used are words of daily usage. No complicated words or phrases are used. The simplicity of language makes the poem more realistic and more relatable. See the poem now. The poem has 5 stanzas. See the first stanza. I am not that woman selling you socks and shoes. Remember me. I am the one you hid in your walls of stone while you roamed free as the breeze, not knowing that my voice cannot be smoothed by stones. So in this stanza, she used a phrase remember me. So this is a phrase remember me is a caution to men. It is a caution to men. Then she reminds the men. The poem, the first stanza of the poem opens with the poet saying that she is not that woman. That woman means I am not that woman selling you socks and shoes. Means she is not that woman on the advertisement posted who sells socks and shoes. She reminds the men that she is the woman whom men hid in the stones of walls while they roamed free like the breeze. Means here the men hid the woman in the stones of walls while the men roamed free like the air or breeze. But the poet again warns, you are not knowing. You are not knowing means you don't know. You did not know. The men did not know that her voice could not be stopped by the stones of walls. See the last line of the first stanza. That my voice cannot be smoothed by stones means her voice could not be stopped by the stones of walls. This is the first stanza. Come to the second stanza of the poem. I am the one you crushed with the weight of custom and tradition. Not knowing that light cannot be hidden in darkness. Remember me. I am the one in whose lap you picked flowers and planted thrones and embers. Not knowing that chains cannot smoother my fragrance. See, in this poem, the poet says that she is the woman who the men crushed under the weight of customs and traditions. Meaning that the men used customs and traditions to make women suffer. But the men did not know that light cannot be hidden in darkness. We cannot stop the light in the darkness. So here, woman is a light. So the poet says that woman is a light we cannot stop, we cannot be hidden in the darkness. Meaning that her knowledge, skills, and confidence could not be kept hidden by tradition and customs just because she was a woman. She also warns and reminds men that they had picked up flowers from her lap and planted thrones and embers. Means, see the poem. I am not that whom I am the woman who, I am the one in whose lap you picked flowers and planted thrones and embers. Means, she also reminds men that the men had picked flowers from her lap and planted thrones and embers. Embers means nipula kumpati. Thrones means mulla kampalu. Meaning that the men extracted all good and positive things from women while giving her only bad and negative things in return. The poet says that the men did not know that. Again, she gave a warning. You are not knowing that chains cannot smoothed by fragrance. Means again she is giving a she warns the men. You are not knowing that woman fragrance could not be smoothed by chains. Meaning that just as fragrance from a flower cannot be tied by chains, పువ్వుల యొక్క సువాసనని చైన్లతో బంధించలేము. సిమిలర్లీ షీ ఆల్సో కెనాట్ బి టైడ్ డౌన్ బై ద కస్టమ్స్. అలాగే స్త్రీలను కూడా ఆచార సాంప్రదాయాలు అనేటువంటి వాటితో మనం బంధించలేము అని చెప్తుంది ఈ సెకండ్ స్టాంజా ఆఫ్ ద పోయం. కమ్ టు ద థర్డ్ స్టాంజా. I am the woman whom you bought and sold in the name of my own chastity, not knowing that I can walk on water when I am drowning. See the stanza, third stanza. The poet next says that she is the woman who was traded an object in, that is bought and sold. Means here I am the woman whom you bought and sold. Here woman is an object which is bought and sold in the market. This atrocity was done in the name of her own chastity. In the name of my own chastity means this kind of atrocity, selling and buying, this kind of atrocity was done in the name of her own chastity. Chastity means purity or virginity or celibacy. Here the poet is speaking about the custom of arranged marriage and dowry, where daughters are sold to the richest and the most prestigious families along with a huge sum of dowry. The feelings of and emotions of that woman getting married are not taken into consideration at all. The poet says that the men did not know that she had the ability to walk on water while she appeared to be drowning. See the last line of the poem. That I can walk on water when I am drowning means she had the ability to walk on water while she appeared to be drowning. Drowning అంటే మునిగిపోయేటప్పుడు కూడా ఆమె మునిగిపోయేటప్పుడు ఆమె నీళ్ళపైన నడవగల శక్తి సామర్థ్యాలు ఆమెకు ఉన్నాయట. This means that her ability to continue progressing in her life despite several restrictions will appear like a miracle to men. సో ఎన్ని అవాంతరాలు ఎదురైనా ఎన్ని రెస్ట్రిక్షన్స్ ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా she can face, she continue progressing in her life. That is the stanza 3. Come to the fourth stanza of the poem. I am the one you married off to get rid of a burden, not knowing that a nation of captive minds cannot be free. See, in the penultimate stanza, the poet says that she is the woman who was married off in a hurry to get rid of a burden. బరువు తగ్గించుకోవడం కోసము స్త్రీలకు తొందరగా పెళ్లి చేసి పంపించేస్తున్నారు. భారం అవుతున్నారు తల్లిదండ్రులు. షీ ఈజ్ అగైన్ రెఫరింగ్ టు ద కస్టమ్ ఆఫ్ అరేంజ్డ్ మ్యారేజ్ wherein parents treat their own daughter as a burden which should be gotten rid of. సొంత తల్లిదండ్రులకు కూడా కూతురు బరువైపోతుంది. ఆ భారం జింపుకోవడం కోసం పిల్లలకి తొందరగా పెళ్లి చేయాలనేటువంటి ఆతృతతో ఎవరికో ఒకరికి కట్టబెడుతున్నారు. దే మ్యారీ ఆఫ్ దేర్ డాటర్ ఇన్ ఏ హరీ అండ్ ఫీల్ దట్ they have completed their responsibility and got rid of a burden. పేరెంట్స్ పెళ్లి చేసిన తర్వాత ఓమ్మయ్య మా బాధ్యత అయిపోయింది, పెళ్లి చేసేసినాము అని చెప్పేసి ఆ విధంగా భారాన్ని తగ్గించుకుంటూ ఉన్నారు నేటి సమాజంలోని తల్లిదండ్రులు. The parents do not take their daughter's opinion in the matter of marriage. At least they do not take any opinion of their daughters. The daughter is a liability for her parents, not a lovable child. The poet says that the parents who do this must know that a nation of captive minds can never be free. This is the fourth stanza of the poem. Come to the last stanza of this poem. I am the commodity you traded in, my chastity, my motherhood, my loyalty. Now it is time for me to flower free. The woman on the poster half naked, selling socks and shoes. No, I am not that woman. Lastly, the poet says that she is the commodity who was traded in her chastity, motherhood and loyalty. So she is a commodity, ఆమె ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్. She is a commodity, she is a product who was traded in her chastity. చాస్టిటీ అనేటువంటి పేరు పెట్టి, పవిత్రత వర్జినిటీ అనేటువంటి పేరు పెట్టి, అదేవిధంగా తల్లి అనేటువంటి పేరు పెట్టి, లాయల్టీ మీన్స్ ఫెయిత్ఫుల్నెస్, ట్రస్ట్ వర్తీనెస్ అనేటువంటి విధేయత అనేటువంటి పేరు పెట్టి ఆమెను ఒక వస్తువులాగా బిజినెస్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. షీ మీన్స్ దట్ ఆల్ దీస్ ఐడియల్స్ వర్ ఫోర్స్డ్ అపాన్ హర్ బై ద పేట్రియార్కల్ సొసైటీ, మెన్ డామినేటెడ్ సొసైటీ. She was just a commodity to be traded between two families. She was just a commodity. She was just a product to be traded between two families. ఆమె ఒక వస్తువు, రెండు ఫ్యామిలీల మధ్య ఆమె ఒక వస్తువులాగా వ్యాపారం చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. చాస్టిటీ వాజ్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ హర్. దే ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చాస్టిటీ, వర్జినిటీ, సెలబసీ. Chastity was expected of her, motherhood was forced upon her, and loyalty was imposed on her. Her own desires were never taken into account, and all this was done to make her a good and cultured woman in front of the society. ఇవన్నీ ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నారంటే సమాజంలో ఆమెకు గొప్ప స్త్రీ కావాలట. ఇవన్నీ భరిస్తూ ఆమె గొప్ప స్త్రీ కావాలి. ఏ ఉమెన్ ఈజ్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ టు బీ లాయల్ టు హర్ హస్బెండ్ త్రూ అవుట్ హర్ లైఫ్. జీవితమంతా ఆ స్త్రీ తన భర్తకు అణిగి మణిగి ఉండాలి, విధేయతగా ఉండాలి. అండ్ ఈజ్ ఆఫెన్ ఫోర్స్డ్ టు బికమ్ ఏ మదర్ అట్ అన్ యంగ్ ఏజ్. బలవంతంగా ఆమెని మదర్హుడ్ చేస్తారు. ఈవెన్ వెన్ షీ డస్ నాట్ విష్ టు. ఆమెకి ఇష్టం లేకపోయినా ఖచ్చితంగా బై ఫోర్స్, బై మదర్ ఇన్ లాస్ ఫోర్స్ ఆర్ ఫాదర్ ఇన్ లాస్ ఫోర్స్ ఆర్ హస్బెండ్స్ ఫోర్స్, షీ షుడ్ బికమ్ ఏ motherhood. Then this only respectable status conferred upon women in a patriarchal society is that of a loyal and chaste wife and a mother. The individuality of women is suppressed and they are treated as commodities with certain specifications. So the poet finally says that she has enough of it now. It is her time to flower free. She means that she will now spring forward with confidence and she will blossom freely in life like a flower without caring about any custom or tradition. See the last line. The woman on the poster of naked selling socks and shoes. No, no, I am not that woman. Means the last line of the poem is again a satirical dig at the false virtuous nature of men. As the poet says that she is not the half naked woman on the poster selling socks and shoes. This is the poem, I am not that woman. Then come to the conclusion. Thus, it can be concluded that the poem I am not that woman is an apt description of the sad state of women in the eastern countries, which also points out that deceptiveness of the patriarchal society, besides asserting that women can be free of the bunkum if they have confidence in themselves. Bunkum means garbage or nonsense. Thank you one and all.